Good morning, friends. Today I'm going to continue with the topic of Ahimsa. Ahimsa is the foundational ethic of yoga. It is the principle of non-harm. Although it's formulated in the negative, I prefer to present it in the positive formulation, which is reverence for life, reverence and respect for life. Whether that's a human being, ourselves, or today, we're going to talk specifically about the earth. The earth is a living, breathing being. And in modern culture, we have lost our reverence and connection to the earth as a living being whose health is interconnected with the health of ourselves. And so it's so important for every human being to offer our thought energy that is to offer our reverence as thought energy to counter this lack of regard for the earth as a living being. In ancient cultures, Vedic culture from which yoga comes from, indigenous cultures, and in many spiritual cultures around the earth, it is a natural thing to know and understand our connection to the earth as a living being. And so some of the ways that you can integrate that into your daily life are very simple. When you put food into the compost, or when you take compost from your compost bin into the bin outside, you can use that as a way to connect you to the earth, knowing that we receive from the earth when we eat food. And when you compost and offer it back to the earth, that is part of that cycle. Every time you eat, you can take a moment to pause and offer your gratitude to the earth. It can be as simple as acknowledging my food comes from the earth. Thank you to the soil and the farmers and the elements. It can be a very simple thing that you do before you eat. It can be an attitude that you take with you when you shop for food in the grocery store. It can be a little prayer or mantra that you say when you do your composting, which you do probably every day. For me, 3 times a day when I'm making meals, I am connecting with my compost and understanding that I receive from the earth and I want to give back to the earth. It is something you can do when you're showering, that you can think of water and the sacred purity of water. It can be as simple as at the end of your shower, placing your hands together and thinking of the water to offer a thank you to the water. Or what I say is, may your waters always run pure. And especially if you are out in nature, if you're in a forest, if you're in a park, if you're by the ocean, a river, a lake, or a body of water, instead of thinking of other things, which will happen naturally, you can make it a habit to spend at least a part of your time offering your thoughts and your reverence and the energy of your heart, directing it towards the earth. If more people did this, it could shift our relationship with the earth and shift so many of the trends now that are problematic in our relationship with the earth, where we see the earth as an object to be exploited for natural resources that we can gain money and profit from. And instead, imagine what it would be like to revere the earth, to know that the health of the waters, the forests, the soil, the air is connected to our own health. And for the sake of our own health, we must take care of, have reverence for the earth. In Vedic culture, it was natural, this reverence, so much so that there is a very common prayer which basically repeats the aspiration or wish or prayer that may there be peace in the sky, in the rivers, in the waters, in the forests, on the earth, in the animal kingdom, in the mineral kingdom. And it goes on and on and on, taking each part of nature and wishing, praying that there may be harmony. The elemental realm is such a beautiful, magical realm. And what I mean by the elemental realm is it is the realm of nature and the elements and the beings, the insects, the animals, the fairies and pixies, if you believe in that, the beings and energetic beings that reside in the realm of the elements. And when you're in a part of the world or in a place where nature is very pure, there's a feeling of magic, majestic, awe. It is awe-inspiring. And we step into this elemental realm. And it is such a beautiful, beautiful, magical realm. I really hope that we as a human species can shift and change our relationship. And that starts with each of us. And in addition to our thoughts and prayers, that we may also consider the earth in our consumption, whether it's our consumption of material objects, of clothing, of household objects, of energy, that in our consumption of things, we also consider the earth. And what that looks like is that when you buy something, you take a moment to reflect on the consequences of what you're buying on the earth. Of course, it's always helpful in taking an attitude and approach that's practical. And practical in the sense that we don't become obsessive about this or fanatical about this. When I say practical, I really feel inspired by one of the mission statements in the statement of the founding society of veganism in England. And their mission statement said to choose plant-based foods where practical and possible. And this has always captured for me the essence of what it is to live a life of integrity and consciousness in a world and realm where the opposite is very pervasive, is to take the attitude, may I consider the earth where practical and possible. So this means sometimes it's not possible. And sometimes it's not practical. And so we try to take the attitude that is a very moderate attitude so that we're not contributing energy in relationship to the earth that is fraught with fanaticism, obsessiveness, or impatience or frustration. It's really an attitude of love, an attitude of moderation, understanding that the world we live in makes it so difficult because the norms of consumerism and materialism are so pervasive. One year, I was inspired by a yoga teacher who ran a campaign called Plastic Free Yogi. And I tried to go a week without consuming plastic. And I couldn't believe how many things include plastic, whether it's produce bags or things that are packaged. And although I wasn't able to completely follow it, it brought that awareness, and that awareness has stayed with me. That there are some things now that I will not buy if they are packaged in plastics, if it's possible for me to buy it without being packaged in plastic. So these are the kinds of things that we can do on a very practical level, in addition to offering on a regular basis our heart energy for the well-being and health of Mother Earth. So let's now meditate on the connectedness of our health and her health, and bring an attitude of reverence that we may really consider her in all that we do. So get comfortable wherever you are. Close your eyes. And feel a settling into the body and into the pelvis and sit bones. Feel breath in the abdomen. Drawing the belly slightly in to provide support for you to be long and tall through the back and spine. Finding just the right amount of effort in keeping the muscles toned and engaged, and finding a softness, especially within the face, the forehead, eyes, the jaw. Bring your awareness to your heart space. Feel the touch of breath at your heart. And from your heart space, visualize that you are in a beautiful natural setting, whether that's at the beach, in the forests, in the mountains, wherever that is for you. You are sitting quietly in this beautiful setting. You can feel the vibration, the soothing, calming vibration of the earth. And you look up to the sky with the words in your heart. May there be peace in the sky and in the heavenly realms. May there be peace in the atmosphere. May there be peace in the winds and in the air. As you sit in this beautiful natural setting, you visualize trees, forests, rainforests, and the incredible life that it supports. Animal life, insect life, a way that the trees and forests act like lungs for the earth, purifying the air. As you breathe with a thought in your heart. May there be peace in the forests, in the trees, in the rainforest. As you sit in this beautiful natural setting, you think of the mountains, stones, rocks, cliffs, crystals, minerals, with a wish in your heart. May there be peace in the mountains and minerals. And you think of the meadows, grasslands, swamp, prairies, with the wish in our heart. May there be peace in the meadows and grasses. In the deserts and swamps. And in this beautiful natural setting where you are meditating, you think of animals, birds, monkeys, insects, horses, with the thought and wish in our heart, may there be peace in the animal kingdom. And we think of the waters, ocean, rivers, lakes, streams, rain, with a wish. May there be peace in the waters of the earth. And lastly, we think of the soil and the sand and the earth beneath our feet. With the wish in our heart, may there be peace in the soil, in the sand, and may there be peace on earth. And gently open the eyes. So as you can imagine, today's talk and meditation is dedicated to the health of Mother Earth, that we may contribute to her health, that we may have reverence for the elements in the earth, and we may be in right relationship, that the earth can contribute to our health and we can contribute to her health. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day and that you're able to connect with the earth in your day today. From my heart to yours.